I was wrong in doing what I did.
No, no! No! Are you listening?
There are many reasons it would suck to be Lauren Armstrong. Sean here. Today we're going to talk about the difference in Lauren's perception of things and his acceptance. Lauren doesn't want to learn. He wants to know. He's like the large group of NPCs out there who just regurgitate whatever they're told. Chasing clout, doing whatever the reason is, boom, immediately just regurgitate it, and it is truth. Think about the vaccination. I did my research. I read, but I also spoke to the wife of a doctor, and she's on the testing and development panel, and she broke it down for me, and she basically said, you need to get it. It's better than not having it. So I went and got it. I mean, I still got COVID, but I went and got it, probably because I didn't get my booster shot in time, or I just, waited too long. But Lauren, he argued with Casey because, well, you got to get it. Why do you have to have it, Lauren? News said so. Let me go get that live longer shot. 9 months. So in school, you could imagine Lauren didn't want to study. He didn't want to do homework. He just wanted to be told the answers. That's why he falls for the scams and the catfish. And that's why he believes that Xavier, he wants to believe what he wants to believe, things that benefit him. But it's why the Xavier thing is so easy to accept. Oh, I told Xavier was putting CP on my computer. Xavier did this. Xavier. I still can't believe, and this video is not about Xavier, but I still can't believe, after all this time, he thinks millions of dollars, surveillance, spending his entire life harassing Lauren. It just doesn't make sense for anyone to believe that, but Lauren does. Lauren, I'm not a catfish. Oh, okay. I mean, he's lonely. He does just want somebody on the phone so he can go, love you, baby. Call me back, please. He has to have them on the phone. Hey, Lauren, I'm with the Church of God, but I swear to God, I'm not recording you. Oh, okay. You would think after the first catfish, when the worst parts of you were exposed online, that you would have hit rock bottom. That you would have learned, oh my God, look at how I am and look at how everybody's reacting. But no, he thinks it's a global conspiracy and these people eat bowls of sugar and there's nothing wrong with him. I would feel a tremendous sense of loss. I would feel embarrassed, shame, maybe even a little guilty if I fell for the scams that he did. I mean, weekend tax, come on, Lauren. Everyone around him is like, dude, it's a scam, it's a scam. What? And he writes a poem for him. I mean, come on. He is lazy. Maybe he thought he was going to get rich really quick without having to really do anything. But he fell for it. Like a complete and total 87. Imagine how many times in his life his family members were telling him, Lauren, what you're doing, it's just stupid. It's going to get you in trouble. Please don't do that. I don't know if Roy was aware that this dude was hitting on younger girls. I have no idea. I mean, sometimes people paint Roy as a saint. And maybe he is for having to live with Lauren. But if somebody knew what he was doing, dude, I wouldn't do that. You're going to get caught. Shut up, I know what I'm doing. And then he gets busted. And you would think that alone would keep you off the internet. Oh my God. Even if you weren't a pedo. Even if you were just somebody who did something stupid and you're paying for it. But he didn't. He got right back on there. He put himself out there. He thought he was a celebrity. Maybe somebody told him, you're a celebrity, Lauren. Tony joking with him. And then the next thing you know, Lauren's like, well, better capitalize on it. Get out there on my baby blanket and do some workouts. He didn't learn a thing. Tony was relentless in making fun of Lauren. At least that's what Lauren implied, that it was always, Sheriff's Department, get down, get down. He didn't learn, though. He has to be told. The news. It appears that people are getting catfished. Whatever you do, don't answer the phone. Maybe he wouldn't listen to that. Maybe he wouldn't. If they did a news story on him, he would probably think, I'm a super celebrity again, when they were actually doing a news story about local man gets catfished over and over again, has his worst moments put online, is exposed to be an abuser, an alcoholic, a rage monster. Oh, that's all bullcrap. That don't mean anything. They're trying to get a news story. A guy, we talked about it, how he just takes out those loans, and he believes somebody told him at some point, well, you got to build your credit up. You got to take some loans out or get a credit card, because if your credit is bad, think about that, your credit is bad if you don't have any loans, or you don't have any credit cards, or you don't have anything that you're paying off. I know that's kind of how it works, but I wanted to just point out that I think that at some point someone told Lorne, this is a good idea. Now, he didn't do any research. He didn't figure out what that meant. He just did it. Lorne, you got to put grease in your tank, man, when you're driving your truck. Drive truck. You got to put grease in your tank. It gives you extra mileage. Oh, okay. I mean, first thing I would do is look up grease in gas tank and find out how terrible that would be. But he doesn't want to do the research. Now, he will spend hours, weeks, days, months, years going online and researching what's being said about him, instead of spending his time learning a new skill, learning something about life in general. Why am I angry all the time? How to get past grudges. Catfishing in You, like one of those old instructional videos. Catfishing in modern society, how to spot a catfish. But he didn't do it because he believes that getting catfished is okay. He believes that it's what I want, so it's real. After you get catfished once, you think you would learn your lesson. Amanda James, that would have been it. I would have felt tremendous shame. I would have felt stupid, absolutely ignorant. But what did Lorne do? Well, it's not my fault. She took advantage of me. She lied to me. And that's another thing. He doesn't get that you control your reactions to things. Lorne, my man, you choose how you react to something. Every day I have something I just have to, it's okay, I'm just going to do this. Everything's going to be fine. We'll just let it go. Be kind to people. Be kind, Lorne, but you can't. You got to be an abuser, and you got to get angry at everything. And I just think that if someone had sat, nope, you know what? I don't even know if that would have worked, because I want to do what I want to do. But I also think Lorne could have avoided a lot of heartache if he just did his research. If he would have just taken a step back and looked at himself and said, I should probably take this version of me off the internet. Most of us know how to spot if we are addicted to something. We look at a mobile game and we're like, God, this is now getting in front of my life. I can't do anything because all I think about, like DSP and WWE champions, he just can't stop playing, realizing that once you've sunk a lot of money into World of Warcraft or any of these other games, and you have a character that's got all this elite stuff on it, you worked really hard, at least you played the game a lot just to get it. So to give that up, that's another feeling of loss. And you're addicted to that feeling of elite status. I think, Lorne, you go out and you park in World of Warcraft. I got the rare mount from Malagos. Time Lost Proto Drake, the Mammoth from, I can't remember what it's called, the Champions thing, back when Lich King came out. You go park it in Orgrimmar or in Stormwind, right in front of the auction house, so everybody had to see it. I was much younger when I did that. And heck, my ex even played with me. We played together because I didn't want to turn out one of those people. Lorne is addicted to the feeling that he is a celebrity, and he's addicted to putting himself online. He wants everybody to know that he's Lorne Armstrong, that he was on TV. He just doesn't want anybody to know why. But he didn't learn anything, man. He didn't go on and look up addiction. What is addiction? I was playing Pokemon Go, I still am, with my son, and I realized You buy $5 worth of coins here, $10 there. You've spent a lot of money. It was also taking up time. I was playing for him and me during lunch, after work when he's not with me, because I wanted to be hero dad and get him that shiny Pokemon he didn't have already. I realized it was affecting what I was doing. I realized it was like, hey man, listen, you can't do anything because you feel glued to this phone. You feel glued to this game. Lauren's addiction to alcohol. He knew he was an alcoholic. He knew it was affecting his life. It was affecting his job. It was affecting his relationships and his financial situation. I understand addictions are hard to break. I do understand. Porn addiction is the worst. Now, I don't know if Lauren has people buying him nudie magazines on the sly, but it would not shock me. Somebody like him, who has to have stimuli, because the catfish are stimuli. Those fantasies are stimuli, and soon those fantasies aren't going to be enough. I'm not ashamed to say anything. I was addicted to porn. I really was. Addicted to those harem games, which some of them are really good, especially Being a Dick. If you've never played, I laughed so hard so many times through that game. But you work hard to hook up with the women. It was like a feeling of accomplishment, a badge of honor. I finally just had to take a step back and say, you know what, these are fun, but I play them too much. I kept trying to find another game like Being a Dick that was well written. It had storylines, you had to make choices that had effects on everything. Not justifying them, just describing what it was. So I had to take a step back. And me, I told you, I'm a hypersexual person. It's one of the side effects for some people of being bipolar. Everything is so intense. Lauren, I don't get the feeling there's anything in his life other than the image he wants to portray, other than wanting to be the center of attention and to be a celebrity. But even that requires work, so we know my man is not going to do it. He's not going to do anything that requires work. There were times, you wanted to win those magic competitions that I practiced for. You see what other people do, and you want to mimic that when you're younger because, hey, that's established. Look at the reaction they're getting. But eventually you realize, I'm not going to win anything if I'm somebody else. Who am I? I have to discover who I am. Lauren, he'll never realize that. He'll never understand. He'll look at other people. Look what they did. Look how they were treated. I'm normal. Like I said, look at that 90-year-old woman who smoked until she was 90 and she ended up dying of old age, a heart attack from old age, or she got COVID or something like that. But I got my shot. I ain't going to get it. So many chances to learn and grow and blossom. But instead, he chose to wither and die because Lauren is dead already. He has nothing to prove that he's living. Stays at home, wants to collect unemployment, take a job here or there, get enough cigarettes. He is not the sharpest bulb in the drawer. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean. We had a guy, I'm going to tell you a story real quick and then I'll shut up about it. He would come into meetings and he'd be like, basically, you don't want to take all your ducks and you don't want to put them in a row in a basket, because he couldn't get any of them right. He just wanted to sound knowledgeable. Great guy, kind guy, taught me this lesson. He's older than I was. He said, I want you to write everything that you wanted to say to that person. Write it on a piece of paper, tear it up, and there was a hill out back. He goes, we're going to go up to the top of this hill. I thought, oh crap, we're going to get in a fight. I don't really want to fight. I want to get fired. But he said, tear it up. And we got to the top of the hill, and in Kentucky it gets pretty windy during spring. We're talking like wind warnings all the time, wind advisories. So I took it, I threw them up in the air, and the pieces were whisked away. I mean, they were gone like a kite. And he said, okay, now I want you to go collect those pieces and put that letter back together. And it hit me. What he was telling me was, you can't take back what you say. You can't take back what you did. Once they're out there, They are out there. And even if you apologize, you're done. And we know why Lauren apologizes. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. He hasn't learned how to treat people. You would think having to apologize that much or feeling like they wanted an apology would help you to understand that my behavior is not okay. But he hasn't learned. I know the way I treated women in my past, I'm not saying I treated them like I was an abuser, I treated them poorly, but I did say and do some things I regretted. So I made a mental note, this is not okay. He can't do that. When did he change? When did he ever learn? When did he change? Why isn't he doing something different than he was before? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Lauren Armstrong. And to be perfectly honest with you, as long as it keeps him in that trailer and he's not out there terrorizing real women, we say that a lot. As long as he's not out there and having real victims, we're okay with that. I would be okay with decoys left and right for this guy. And as I said before, I think there should be a catfish program for the worst offenders so that their time is occupied. They don't have time to go out there and terrorize a real woman. If you want proof that my man hasn't learned, he was in love with a robot voice. Of course, he can never name what he's in love with. The first thing I would have said was, wait a minute, this is weird. I can't even verify that this is a woman. Heilborn better watch the hell out because Lauren is in love with him. And you know Lauren. He might say, well, I know he's a guy, there's a real connection there. We should be friends. I mean, he really spent a lot of time talking to me and he gave me advice and he cared about me. I mean, a guy that called Ramona back. A guy that, of course, could go out and get any woman he wanted. There is a mental block there. I might speak to some of you. And you know what? If anybody ever wanted to contact me and just wanted to talk, if they felt bad about their life. I mean, but then again, I'd be stupid like Lauren. You cannot trust anyone on the internet. You just can't. So if somebody said they wanted to call and talk to me, they would come up with some bullshit story and I'd be genuine and I'd be trying to help them. And they'd be like, oh, well, yeah, put it on the internet. Sean talking to somebody. Listen to this moron. He fell for this. So it'd be pretty sad if I did that. So maybe that's not a good idea. I would want to help, though. Lauren doesn't want to help anybody. He wants what he wants. He wants to get something from someone. He doesn't care if it's real. If he thought he could get money from these catfish women, he would do it. I mean, look at, would you like to put money on your account? Say yes, put money on her account. I mean, to tell somebody else, spend your money on this catfish for me, I mean, isn't that kind of Lauren trying to take advantage of them? I mean, he is that kind of guy, but I think he'll never learn. He just wants people to tell him what's true and what's not. He doesn't want to think for himself. I don't think he ever will think for himself. Ramona, you and Mom told me I needed to file bankruptcy. That's why I'm going to do it. Not because I know I need to, but because you told me to. Because if you tell Lauren something and there's a mistake, well, you told me to do it. I wish he understood. Do your research, my man. Go out there, read, figure things out for yourself. Don't always be a sheep. Don't be a follower. Don't be an NPC. Thank God he can't get on social media. He will believe whatever you tell him as long as it suits his needs and as long as it sounds reasonable to him, which I don't really know what that is. But that's my video for today. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Hang on, I can't even catch my breath. Hang on.
Yeah, this